Workers at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant are trying to keep radioactive water from seeping into the sea, but they've reported a problem. They say an underwater filtering system called a silt fence has developed a tear. This is the second time in 5 months that a fence has become damaged. The Tokyo Electric Power Company operates the plant. Company officials say workers found the tear in a part of the fence near reactors 5 and 6. There are also fences near reactors 1 and 4. The reactors were severely damaged by the earthquake and tsunami 2 years ago and have been leaking radioactive water. TEPCO installed the fences to prevent radioactive substances from seeping into the ocean. The barriers also keep soil and sand out of the plant's water intake system. Japanese nuclear regulators are concerned. They say radioactive water could spread beyond the plant's port. The Nuclear Regulation Authority has ordered a TEPCO to measure radiation levels in seawater near the plant.
Details on this, we're now joined by our correspondent, Terence Terashima in Tokyo. Hello, Terence. Can you tell us more about what TEPCO confirmed today about the source of the leaks and how serious is that?
Well, they have confirmed the leak, that they found a crack in the bottom of the tank, but they did not make any specific comments on how wide, how wide, and also how many of them they spotted. They said they're going to inspect all the other tanks for all the other possible leaks, and this has been of concern to local residents as well. And now they also found a silk fence that is separating the ocean and the bay where the number 5 and number 6 reactors are located, and this silt fence, cut in the silt fence, is leaking some water into the ocean as well. So TEPCO is also investigating on radiation levels around those reactors. Now, this has been sort of a number of incidents since Prime Minister Shinzo Abe told the international audience that Fukushima plant was under control. So it was a bit of an embarrassment for Shinzo Abe, but also for TEPCO that they have repeatedly found these new findings, which is raising concerns and surprising local residents.
Well, Terry, what about the green light that TEPCO got from the local government towards restarting the Kashiwazari Kariwa facility? How did they get a regulator's approval at this point, and what's the reaction from the Japanese government and the public?
Well, just to get the geography, the Kashiwazaki is on the other side, not the Pacific side, but on the other side of Japan, and they have been wanting to restart the facility. And since Japan changed the government, Japan also changed the direction from reducing nuclear reliance to zero in the future to restarting some of the nuclear power plants, as Abe is promoting Japan's nuclear technology overseas, as well as trying to cope with the demand from industry to restart some of the plants with the rising cost of energy. But Niigata Prefecture approved for the final inspection by the nuclear watchdog on conditions for the fuel vent. And experts say that looking at the situation, Niigata Prefecture approved under the conditions in order to get an opportunity for final say in the when it comes to the restart. The residents are quite worried that the management will be bad as well. And Chief Cabinet Secretary Suga said it's important for utility to make understanding with the local community, but he did not elaborate further.
Thank you very much indeed, Terence Terashima.
IAEA Director General Yukiya Amano has discussed the leakage of radioactive water at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. He was interviewed by Japanese media in Vienna ahead of his scheduled visit to Japan in October.
It is not sufficient, even if Japan says we have been monitoring levels of seawater radioactivity and we will release the data to the world. It's crucial for Japan to conform to the international standards and cooperate with international bodies from the planning stage.
The IAEA plans to send inspectors to Japan this autumn. The agency is considering including seawater analysis specialists on the mission.
They may have found the source of another problem that's been plaguing them. Last month, they found hundreds of tons of highly radioactive water had leaked from a storage tank. Now they found a gap between steel plates at the bottom of the tank. The workers put foam on the joints between the plates. They managed to suck it through to the other side. Managers say the weight of the water may have widened the gap, allowing the water to leak out. About 300 similar tanks sit on the site. Managers say they'll check them to try to avoid any other problems. The coast of Fukushima is now being sold in local markets. Fishermen resumed offshore test fishing on Wednesday. Such fishing was suspended early this month by concerns over leaks into the sea of radioactive water. Fishermen and wholesalers prepared around 1,500 kilograms of hairy crabs, squid and other seafoods. The local fisheries cooperative said no radioactive substances were detected in the 11 types of seafood caught this time. Any catch must clear radiation test before being sent onto the markets. The shipped products were soon on the shelves of local retailers. At a supermarket in Soma, shoppers bought seafood after checking the attached test certificates.
I don't have any worries about eating this fish as long as it has been properly examined.
To be honest, I don't want to eat this fish because I'm worried about radiation.
The seafood is expected to be put on sale on Friday in Sendai, the prefectural capital of neighboring Miyagi Prefecture, and in Tokyo on Saturday.
Japan's National Police Agency has instructed police headquarters around the country to tighten anti-terror security at nuclear power plants.
The vulnerability of nuclear plants has been exposed. We are concerned about the possibility of terrorists targeting them.
NPA Chief Tsuyoshi Yoneda was speaking at a meeting of about 200 senior officers in charge of anti-terrorism measures. Yoneda stressed the need for drills to prepare for such attacks. He said improving the capability of anti-terror firearms units is essential to ensuring the safety of the facilities. Japanese police have beefed up security at nuclear facilities since the Fukushima crisis. Measures include arming firearms units with machine guns and the introduction of radiation-proof vehicles. Officials are set to apply for inspections so they can fire up 2 reactors on the Sea of Japan coast. They've been updating safety features at the Kashiwazaki Kariwa plant. The governor of the prefecture hosting the facility has given the application the green light. TEPCO President Naomi Hirose met on Wednesday with Niigata Governor Hirohiko Izumida. He explained plans to install additional safety equipment for the reactors. Filter vents are designed to release pressure in containment vessels while limiting massive emissions of radioactive substances if an accident occurs. Now, while Niigata officials have approved TEPCO's application, they've added a condition. They want managers to consult with local officials on how the vents will be used to prevent residents from being exposed to radiation. Nuclear plant operators need to pass safety checks by the Nuclear Regulation Authority before they restart reactors. The regulators introduced tougher rules in July. All 50 reactors in Japan are offline now. 4 utilities have applied for inspections to restart 12 units. TEPCO officials haven't submitted any applications until now. They found it difficult to file for safety checks at Kashiwazaki Kariwa because of initial opposition by the governor. Izumida had expressed concern that filter vents could be vulnerable to earthquakes. TEPCO is eager to restart the reactors as it is facing growing fuel costs for non-nuclear thermal power generation.
The Japanese government will set up an expert panel to present a plan to expand capacity at Tokyo's two main airports. And that does come ahead of the 2020 Olympics in the city. Transport Ministry officials have briefed the ministry's policy council on forecasted demand for flights through the metropolitan area. They expect an 80% increase in the number of international flights in the next 10 years. The officials say that Haneda and Narita will face full capacity by 2025. They also say that they will be setting up a panel to put forward specific proposals to boost capacity by early next year. Options to consider include building a new runway at Haneda. The panel members will also think about lifting a ban on flights over Tokyo's airspace. Residents, though, could protest because of noise pollution. The total number of incoming and outgoing flights per year at both airports is expected to reach 750,000 by March 2015. The number is similar to airports in Paris, but not as busy as airports in New York and London.